Good morning students. Today we are starting the last unit of our syllabus, that is ecology, and the chapter which we are going to start today is organisms and population. So this unit is totally different but we have done in our earlier four units. So let's start it with the first thing is we are starting from very basic, that is the term environment. Today in this class we are going to discuss some of the important terms. We know there are lots of living organisms, millions of species that are surviving on earth, and there is an environment with which all the living organisms are basically interacting. Without this environment, survival is not possible. So environment is everything that is surrounding a living organism. It is including all the external conditions which are important for the survival of a living organism. And if we talk about earth, our earth is having major three components that are important for survival, that is atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. And each living organism that is present on earth is interacting with all these three components of earth. Gases are present in atmosphere, respiration is occurring through this. Hydrosphere is the water that is going to be present, lithosphere soil that is going to be rich in all the minerals. So these are important for the survival of living organisms. And if we talk about the major term, that is ecology. When we study all these things, the interaction of living components with all the living non-living components that are present on the earth, how they are interacting with each other, that is known as ecology. So that is branch of biology that is responsible for the study of interaction between living organisms and their physiochemical environment. Because if this interaction is not going to happen, the survival of living organisms is not possible. And this term ecology, that was introduced by Ernest Haeckel. So we need to discuss about this ecology is having some of the levels of hierarchy of organisms. So we need to discuss them, and the most important one in this chapter are organisms and population, which are parts of this ecological hierarchy. So first let's understand the hierarchy from the very basic level, and then we come to ecological hierarchy. So if we understand the hierarchy of living organisms, their body organization, if I start from very initial point, then simply the starting point will be electrons, protons, neutrons. These are assembling themselves in a particular manner in a specific orientation, and they are responsible for the formation of atoms. Now atoms are going to combine together, they are going to be responsible for the formation of compounds, or you can say molecules are being formed, and these compounds are aggregating with each other and they are forming complexes of compounds. This is a hierarchy that is at physical level. So this is a physical hierarchy. If we move beyond this physical hierarchy, we are moving into biological hierarchy. Why? Because these complexes of compounds, they are combining together in definite proportion and they will be responsible for the formation of organelles. Different organelles are present and these organelles are assembling together, and assembly of these organelles leads to the formation of cell. and cell is going to be the living form. That's why from this physical hierarchy we are entering into the biological hierarchy. Here biological hierarchy is going to come. So the basic components are these physical components which has led to the formation of biological forms. Cells are going to aggregate themselves and they are performing specific functions which we call as tissues. Tissue come together, they leads to the formation of organ. Organs are working in a systematic manner, they are interacting with each other, forming organ system. And finally our organism is formed. So when an organism is being formed, from this organism level up to here our biological hierarchy is coming, and when we are reaching up to this organism level we are entering into ecological hierarchy. So our organism is being formed, organisms living together leads to formation of population. Different populations forms a community. Community is responsible for formation of ecosystem, and ecosystem finally forms the biomes, and biomes are forming the biosphere. So this whole is going to be our ecological hierarchy. And in this chapter we are not going to talk about physical hierarchy or biological hierarchy, we are going to discuss about ecological hierarchy, and in ecological hierarchy also we are going to importantly talk about two levels, that one are organism and population. So we will understand these two levels in the ecological hierarchy. Organisms, how these organisms are interacting with each other, and how these organisms are responsible for the formation of population. So let's take a look at the, you can say, definition of all these terms, and then we will move on to the next topic. So today simply we are going to expand these terms, what these terms actually mean. So I am starting from organism. When we talk about a living organism, that simply means that living organism it is a living unit in nature. Organism, we know every living organism is made up of cell. Organism can be unicellular, only made up of single cell, or organism can be multicellular. So unicellular organisms are also there, multicellular organisms are also there. The organisms are having different level of organization, body organization. An organism can show cell level of body organization or tissue level of organization can be present. If we move to higher organisms, they are having organ or organ system level of organization. So different body organizations are there. We know simply, just we saw in cell theory, that each living organism that is going to be coming from a pre-existing living organism. So an organism is going to be coming from a pre-existing living organism by the way of asexual method. It can be a asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction. Another thing about organisms is that they are going to be showing a specific lifespan. By the help of reproduction, they are going to come into existence, they are going to grow, they becomes adult, finally aging is going to start, and last is death. So a specific lifespan is going to be there for a organism. Another important thing about organism is that survival of a living organism is not possible if it is not going to interact with its physical and biological environment. So always a living organism is going to interact with physical and biological environment, only then its survival is possible. And it is also, when it is going to mature up sexually, then it is, or asexually, then it is going to give rise to a new organism of its own type. So these are some of the characteristics of organism. Next, move on to the next hierarchical level, that is population. Population is formed by organisms of same species. So individuals of same species, they are living together at a given area at particular time, and they are making a population. So it is defined as individuals of a single species living in a given area at particular time. That means they are forming a population. For example, if you take a simple example, that simply means a pond is there and frogs are surviving in that pond. So that all the frogs that are present in that particular pond, they are making a population. So frogs in a pond. And if we talk about the frogs living in different areas, different type, they are making different population. So member of a species living in different areas at different times, they are making different populations. This is, and we know whenever a population is surviving, organisms are surviving in a particular area, they get themselves adapted to that particular area. They are adapted to that particular environmental conditions. Only then survival is possible. And the population which is adapted to that particular environmental condition in which that is surviving, that is known as local population. And this population is also divided into various subgroups. That subgroups are known as demes. On what basis these are being differentiated? The individuals of a specific area, specific deme, they are more interacting to each other as compared to the individual that are living some distance apart from each other. So this is how a population is divided into various subgroups, that is known as demes. This is how the population is being formed by individuals of a single species living in a particular area at a particular time. Now population is going to enter into a next level of hierarchy, that is community, specifically the biotic community. So community is being formed when different population are going to be living together. Means here we were talking about single species. In community we are talking about lots of species which are living in a particular area. That is, different populations are combining together and they are surviving in a particular area. They are responsible for the formation of community. We can say every community is having some of the components like animal community will be there, or animal population will be present, plant population will be present, plant community, and microbial community, microorganisms. These are going to be generally present. For example, if we take an example of forest. Forest is a biotic community that is having animals, deer, tiger, different animals are going to be present. Plants, herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers, different plants are going to be there. Microorganisms, the soil is going to have bacteria, fungi. So different microorganisms are there and they are making a biotic community. So this is how the communities are being formed. Beyond this community, when we move to the higher hierarchical level, we reach to ecosystem. Survival of any of the community is not possible. Means we have talked about only the biotic factors, biotic things. Only biotic things are not going to survive up till they are not going to interacting with the abiotic factors. So ecosystem is going to be formed when there is interaction between biotic and abiotic community. So it is formed by the interaction between biotic and abiotic communities, and this is the independent survival unit, because if these two components are going to be interacting with each other, survival is going to happen. And large ecosystem are generally known as biomes. And these biomes, there are different biomes present, like desert is there, grassland, then alpine and tundra are there. These biomes, they differ from each other because of variations in temperature and annual precipitation. All these biomes are going to be having different duration and range of temperature and variation in precipitation. The temperature is going to vary, the rainfall pattern or annual precipitation is also going to vary in these biomes, and this is how they are distinguished from each other. And finally comes the highest level of hierarchy, that is biosphere. All the ecosystem that are present on earth, they are combining together and they are forming the biosphere. So it is combining all the ecosystem, or we can simply say all the living organisms that are present in the world, they are coming in under one biosphere. This is how we can define these level of hierarchy that are coming in our ecological hierarchy. Other than this ecological hierarchy, we should also be familiar with some of the simple terms which we are going to use in this chapter. So I am taking these terms one by one. We already heard these terms earlier also. First one is weather and climate. So there are some of the differences in these simple terms which we need to understand. The first one out of these is weather and climate. So what actually weather is and climate is. If we talk about weather, that are short term properties of atmosphere, the area in which we are surviving, the short term properties which vary in a day, or you can say in 15 days or in month. Short term properties like temperature is there, rainfall is there, humidity is there. So in a particular area, these conditions are going to vary in 15 days, or you can say in monthly, yearly. This is how they are going to vary, and that is included under weather. If we talk about climate, it is more broader term as compared to weather. So climate is basically the average weather conditions of a particular area. average weather conditions of particular area, which is including all these short term changes also, seasonal variations also, and temperature and rainfall are the factors which are basically defining the climate of a particular area. So temperature and rainfall are playing important role. The next terms are habitat and niche. Habitat we can simply say it is the address of an organism. That simply means where a organism is living, the place where the organism is living, that is a habitat. Simply, if I take example of a rabbit, the rabbit is going to live in grassland or that is living in open woodland. That is the habitat of rabbit. It is denoted by address. If we talk about niche, in niche we are talking about a specific area, or we can say, if we have used the term address for habitat, we can simply use the term profession for niche. Here we are talking about a specific area in which a organism is performing all its activities. So it is the thing, only the living place, but it is the thing in which our organism is interacting with its physical and biological conditions that are present around the organism. Means in niche we are including that what the organism is going to do, where the organism is going to live. It is going to, you can say, build a burrow in the soil, or what the organism is eating, or the organism is eaten by any other organism. Everything that organism is having, it is interacting with the biotic components or abiotic components. That is the niche of that particular organism. Now with this niche, there are some of the terms that are associated, that like Gauss principle is there. What this Gauss principle is basically stating? This Gauss principle is stating that in a niche there is only one single species that is going to survive. So there is single species surviving in a niche. That is said in Gauss principle. And if two species, they are living in a single niche, then there will be competition that is going to occur between these two species, and competition is occurring in such a way that one species is going to completely eliminate the second species. That is known as competitive exclusion. Competition is there and one species will be excluded out. That is competitive. That simply means that survival of only one single species is possible in a particular niche. But the thing can be more than two species. They can survive in different areas. That can be possible, or a single species can survive in different niche, but in a niche two species cannot survive simultaneously. So these are some of the terms which we need to discuss. In our next class we will discuss about the abiotic factors which are interacting, which are the part of ecosystem. Temperature will be there, or weather conditions will be there, rainfall will be there. So we are going to discuss in detail about all these factors. That is simply a introductory part of this particular chapter.